Well, hey there, and welcome to Home Alive. Hope you're doing well. Hope your week has been productive so far. Thanks for joining with us today. Really excited to get this one underway. Got a special guest for you, a publishing manager here at Homa Games, and we're going to be breaking down one of the popular games of, well, quite recent. Before we go any further, I'd love to introduce to you today Pierre. So, Pierre, hey there, welcome, and how's it going?
Fine, thank you, Kevin. Hi, everybody. This is Pierre from Homa Games. I'm a publishing manager here at Homa Games. So, as you know, my job is about helping studios, our partner studios, developing the best game for the market. And I'm super happy to be with you today, so that we can deconstruct, as Kevin was saying, an old timer, something that a game that we liked very much and worked quite well.
Cool.
So
So we're mixing up a little bit. We concentrated on the first week or so with Owen and Arthur talking about some hyper casual fundamentals and stuff. We're gonna go and break down one of the games today. And it's a really good lesson on what worked well with the game and things for you to remember exactly when you're building your games. And we're going to pick up on a few key points we think is really going to help you. Pierre has kindly prepared a presentation for us today, so we're going to kick off that in just a second. But before I forget, if you haven't already, come and join us over on the Discord for any questions or whatever. Plenty of time left to keep building and polishing up your games for the game jam. We can't wait to start seeing some of them. But yeah, don't forget to hit us over on the Discord. A link is in the description of this video. But without further ado, let's have a look of what Pierre's prepared for us today. And I'm going to pass over to you now, Pierre. And I look forward to seeing this one.
cool. Thank you, Kevin. So today the game is going to be Money Rush. So I'm pretty sure most of you have heard about that game. And to give you a bit an element for the plan, we'll go through the concept, the gameplay, the aesthetics, and why this game particularly. So to jumping on the context and for some key figures, so Money Rush was published by Rolik in September 2021. So not that old of a game, but it saw quite a huge scale at 41 million downloads worldwide. Best score was number one on the Android US, and they did top 20 for iOS US. So as you know, for the market, it's quite strong. In terms of game itself, it's a runner with a typical stacking mechanism. Swerving controls is on the theme of money, and as most of the runners, it's a level-based game. So here, nothing brand new. So sorry about that. Let's jump on the core loop. As you know, in runner, the game itself is about stacking pennies, basically pennies, which is highly satisfying because of the rolling mechanism and the overall dynamism of this game. So you stack pennies that you collect throughout the run, and you can multiply the stack. And obviously, the goal is to get as much pennies as you can get by going through the correct doors. Once you complete the level fairly easily, you will end up with a reward, and thanks to this reward, you will be able to unlock different type of skins. So in this regard, this runner is super easy, super simple. Was probably rather easy to develop, but as always, simple is best when it comes to hyper casual. What was interesting about the end of levels for these games, they started with two different types of end of levels. The first one was very static and very classic for a runner game. It was with a leaderboard approach. So basically, all the coins gathered were stacked and counted. However, the satisfaction in the animation was quite high. As you can see, there is a lot of juiciness from the GIF you can see in the screen. The animation is very easy to create, but I would say very limited. So what they did, they changed this end of level in the last months, and they went for an archetypal approach where basically you get to transform the collectible into spendable currency, and you can spend this currency into developing an environment. So obviously it takes a little bit more time to create this type of end of level, but I'm pretty sure that they got significant stronger play times out of this. So quite interesting to note that. In terms of bonus level, obviously they added a bonus level, and they had a meta approach of the game core loop. So basically, the bonus level is about unrolling a dollar wad. The animation is super satisfying, as you can see from the GIF. The idea of the dollar wad is something highly relatable. You always see them on movie. It's something that I guess most people would like to have into their possession once, and just the fact of unrolling it like a carpet is super nice. But as you can see, the mechanism of this bonus level is exactly the same. You try to maximize the value of this dollar wad, and you see it unrolling. And there is an element, a different type of element here, is that obviously if you don't go throughout through the correct doors, then the overall value of your dollar wad will shrink, and the fact that it's unrolling, the overall value per se of the wad shrinks no matter what you do. So you better hurry and get into the biggest of doors. What's interesting about this as well, it's a bonus level, so obviously it only comes after an RV. So because it's so satisfying, I'm pretty sure Rolik were happy with this move, because they must have had plenty of RV to get to this level. So again, high satisfaction of this unrolling, high relatability of the money roll often seen in the media. Last element of the gameplay, talking about the meta. Again, it's not super deep because it's a runner, and there is not too much that you can do with this specific theme. So at first it was only about the skins that you could unlock based on your the rewards or some rewarded videos. So you could basically change your coins to something different, donuts, wheels, or whatever. It was the only meta that you could have, but when they introduced basically the end of level with an arcade idol, maybe they maximize the potential of meta. But what we can see for the game right now is pretty slim, basically. Moving on the aesthetics, like most of the runner, it's the back view camera. The modeling, it's in 3D. The style is highly realistic. Assets, not that many assets. We have the coins, we have the wads as well. So they didn't, struggle too much creating content within the run. There are not many obstacles within the path. And what we like at Homa with this runner is that everything is so simple. The assets, they are not crazy, deep, but they are like perfectly designed. The level design, the background is simple as well, highly relatable. You get to play in the nature, you get to play in a city environment. Nothing too fancy, but highly effective. And what we really liked as well for the runner is that they introduce a lot of breaks into the rhythm of it's not only a flat line path, there are some slopes, some obstacles that will change the behavior of the coins. So easy again, but highly efficient, basically. And where really Rolik and their studio, made it all happen was thanks to the level of juiciness that they introduced. As we all know from this industry, the game that we design are fairly easy, they are not so deep. So we have to maximize the satisfaction by introducing as many juiciness as we can throughout the gameplay, so that the player, whenever he gives us a bit of his time to play, he feels satisfied. So basically, this is like the best example that you could get for juiciness in a runner. So juiciness starts at the collection of points of coins, like you see in the first GIF, and the overall aesthetic of the rolling coins. You will see it better when we will be playing live the game, but the movement, the physics is amazing with a nice reflection. You can see that everything is rolling and it's super soothing. There is as well a very nice effect, a herd effect that they manage to create, when basically you swerve your finger, you will see that the herd of coins will move, will shrink, and it's super agreeable to play and to see. The pass obstacles as well give a nice break in momentum and something quite appealing to the eyes. When you go through the obstacles, you'll see that all the coins, they will be moving very much like what a horse would do when jumping over obstacles. So it's super nice. And last but not least, the unrolling at the end of level, the unrolling of the stack of pennies is so amazing. They didn't go for like all of the coins going like bluntly into the coin hole, but everything is unraveling in a very elegant and sophisticated yet easy manner. So again, those tiny details in hyper casual, they make a strong difference basically. So this is why we wanted to discuss about this with you. But then, why this game?
Okay, well, that's disappointing. It looks like Pierre's internet has completely dropped out there, so we'll get him back in just a sec. But yeah, so some really interesting points he made there. And one of the things that we wanted to talk about Money Rush today is because essentially it's a really accomplished game and highly polished, and it's a really mature runner now. So there's been many iterations. I mean, it had an update about 5 days ago. It's been around for months on end now. So yeah, the camera did lose. Apologies for that. I'll just quickly catch up with the chat there. So that is pretty unbelievable, really. It's actually the first time that's ever happened, but not to worry. So, is Candy Crush hyper casual? I would say Candy Crush is way more casual. I think there's room for a hyper casual match 3 that no one's really pulled off yet, but yeah, I'd say that's more casual. And can we have more information about hyper casual optimization? About animation size and how many vertices by what mesh, what kind of shader is too much, etc. That's hard to know when it's too much. Well, that's obviously a technical question, quite technical, that's pretty much outside the scope of this stream. For optimization, I think it's typically across the board, not necessarily just hyper casual. Obviously, you want to have your load times super fast and everything performing well, keeping that FPS up. There's not a lot we can answer on there. It's kind of best practices throughout. So I don't think there's any difference really technically from casual, hyper casual, or anything. You want to optimize your games as much as you can there. So some of you said you played the game in the chat. I'm waiting for Pierre to come back in, so hopefully he'll come back. But yeah, some really cool points that he said. Really focusing on the feeling and the juiciness and all the sort of exciting stuff that we can see from Money Rush. Let's have a quick look here. No problem, Syntax. You're welcome. I'm just, you can see I've got the video on the iPad here. Let's give me 1 second. Let's just head on over to. Let's try this. Okay, so we'll just get rid of that real quick. And okay, so let's take a look at this first video from what Pierre was mentioning. It's very much super juicy in terms of exactly how they've introduced this wad of money rolling and stuff. I've just seen that Pierre's just jumped back in, but we'll cover this again. I don't want to sort of derail Pierre here. Let's just get this back. Do you want the metagame elements discussed in the app for the game jam, or is it something to add once you know there is something worth spending more time on? Moonjump Games, that is a fantastic question, and I will come back to that. I think that's a pretty big question. I'm just going to try and bring Pierre back in now because we definitely want to finish off what he's got to say. Let's try this real quick. And Pierre's just coming back in here. Here we go. So Pierre, we completely lost you there. Looks like the internet died on us.
Wow.
So yeah,
When
congratulations.
did you lose me?
On one of your slides, which we can, you just flicked onto why this game slide. Um,
Oh, okay. Oof. I was wondering whether it was at the very beginning.
No, not at all.
So
So it just dropped out. You literally, you went completely dead on me. Yeah, congratulations. That's the first time that's ever happened. I was just filling in and answering a couple of questions. So we didn't cover that much, and I was just talking briefly about the preview video on the App Store that they've used, going back to the water money. But luckily, you've come back and saved the day for me. So I think what we should do. Let's talk about why you wanted to highlight this game and exactly why we're going to be looking at it and playing it and talking a bit more. So I'm going to hand it over to you now.
okay. Yeah, I'm super sorry about that. I didn't realize I was talking to myself here. So basically, why we decided to go for this game is that to us it epitomizes basically what are the best hyper casual games and hyper casual runner games, I would say, because it is innovative, relatable, satisfying, short, and simple. How is it innovative? You could say. I mean, it's money theme. It's always like used in many of the games. People like it, but when was it the last time you saw a game where basically you drop a coin on the floor and you see it roll and you use this momentum to hurt other coins and to just create this huge pack of rolling coins? This is a crazily innovative idea, innovative angle on the money side. It's relatable again because everybody has seen coins. Coins or dollar wads, it's everywhere around us. It's super relatable. It's satisfying because again, the way they managed to create this game, the execution is so spot on that it's satisfying to see everything rolling. You can imagine, you can hear the sound of this coin like rolling. You can even imagine the sound of the paper and rolling like this. So it's crazy. It's something that you know deep in your bones. This is why players get hooked. It's short because each level must last maybe between 20 to 25 seconds. Plus, with the end of level, is the perfect type of game that you would play while commuting, whenever you have 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes to spare, and obviously as many days as possible. And it's simple because obviously you see a coin rolling, you know what's gonna happen, right? You don't have to break your head watching at the creative, thinking, "Wow, what's happening?" You know, we say that in 3 seconds the message must come across. I think here in 1 second, people understand, oh, it's about coins, it's about collecting, let's play. So it's crazy. This is the type of idea that you should angle when trying to do hyper casual. And what really struck us was the marketing execution, because as you see here on the right left side of the screen, the App Store and the Android Play Store basically shows Money Rush about shows the dollar WAD approach. Basically, they have been marketing their game since not the very beginning, but very early on. They've been marketing their game with the bonus level. And when you think about it, it's a bit crazy to market a game that doesn't really exist, or just exists like, I think it's one bonus level every 5 or 6 actual game level. So it's pretty crazy to do this. And what is so crazy about it is like what the player thinks when he sees that. So he checks the creatives, he understands it directly. He says, "Oh, why not playing?" And he starts with a coin, with a penny. And what he thinks is like, "Oh, I was about to play with the wad, but it's not the wad, it's a penny. So maybe if I play enough and I reach, I don't know, $5 or maybe even $1 because the first dollar bill is $1. If I get $1, maybe I will get to play with the wad, with the dollar." And this is a crazy hook, intellectual hook that will get people to play, I think, even longer. So this is why we think of this game as frankly, the epitome of what makes a very good hyper casual runner. And this is why we really wanted to discuss. So again, everything is spot on in terms of execution. It's simple, it's satisfying, it's innovative. And where they really were spot on was on the marketing. They thought of a meta thing to show something that was even more satisfying that the core loop, the core gameplay, and they just pushed it, and everybody fell into the trick. If I must say, I was the first one to fall into that trick, and I really liked it. So this is why I thought it was very interesting to discuss about it. But now we can jump back again on the live gameplay because I was able to say my piece eventually.
Perfect. Thanks for that. And apologies for you talking to yourself without realizing you dropped off. There's an experience for you there. But yeah, no, some great points overall. And I think the one of the biggest takeaways for me here is like you said about the WOD and the marketing of it all. And I like the fact that you do expect to be playing with money, the role of money, and when you do open the game, you get pennies. But because it's so relatable, you understand it immediately that oh, okay, maybe I will advance to get end up playing for the advert I just saw, and I think that's really important and a real clever sort of strategy. And I think um, overall, it's a really interesting way to think about your videos in general, and really smart from Rollick. So thank you for that. I know it got broken up a little bit. Like I said, but at some point, all the slides will be available to all you jammers. So we will get that, and you can revert back. We can always pause the screen and stuff, and just skip through the horrible, awkward part where I was trying to say stuff. So overall, thank you, Pierre. That was really interesting. I think we covered all the basics there and a little bit more. I wanted to touch also on the relatable side of things, because I know we kind of got tied up in knots into this last week a little bit. We were saying, well, killing dinosaurs and stuff is not relatable, but I think this one's a really great example, because essentially we're a rolling coin on a platform, and though it's not something that is real life, it's relatable, and you instantly know what's happening, which I think is key. Um, what first attracted this? What would you say is the biggest or best part of this game for you in terms of the gameplay and well, or anything really? How would you summarize it best? What's the best thing about this game before we start playing?
I would say it's the simplicity of it. Everything is so simple. Everything is like spot on. There is no overkill. We take something that everybody knows. So in marketing, you are not taking any type of risks, and you just like unroll it. That is to say, you just unroll it in the perfect of manner, and then you get a game that does 40 million. They doubled the amount of downloads in the last 2 months
Wow.
because I think they've been seeing the crazy potential of their their marketing trick. And this is what I like, and we all like here. Again, hyper casual is about like simplicity and satisfaction, and we are the very core here.
Yeah, and I think it's really, I did mention it, I think, earlier. It's just like they keep updating this game, and they've added the new meta. So this is such a different game from its first release, and they're keeping it alive by changing that end of level to add the arcade idol type thing rather than just a bonus screen. Well, like the end of level gamification where you fire it up. Let's. There was a question that I didn't want to skip here, and it was from Moonjump Games, and I'll just
Mhm.
read it out. Do you want the metagame elements discussed in the app for the game jam, or is it something you can add once there is something worth spending more time on?
Yeah. So usually, what we say for prototypes, and this goes from long-standing relationship or events such as the Jam, we do not wish studios to develop meta for a CPI test for the marketing test because it doesn't make any sense. If the player should be hooked by the core loop basically, and you can't hide a weakness of a core loop through meta. Meta is like the cherry on the top when you've proven that basically people want to play for what the game represents. And
Mm.
we ourselves, as a studio as well, we've made the mistakes early on to create, to go outside of the MVP boundaries, developing too much. And obviously, the market, it's always like that. The market like slapped us in the face real hard, saying, we don't even like your game, so don't don't bother with the meta. Meta is like when you know that you have an audience, you know you have something.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly put. And yeah, concentrate on the things that matter for the game jam specifically. Concentrate on your core loop and making that as refined and fun as possible. And as Pierre said, it's like the cherry on the top. You can start adding meta elements around when you know you're onto something, when your core game is really fun and you've got good numbers on it. Don't waste time putting a shop in a game that everybody doesn't enjoy. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So I hope that answered your question there, Moonjam. That's a really good question. Yeah. So just and for any prototyping as well outside of the jam here, just concentrate on getting that fundamental gameplay in. And then obviously it's worth thinking about what you could add to it. Oh, we can do this and this and this and this and this, but don't waste any time coding it or creating it until you've got your test back and you can add the meta stuff on top.
Yeah.
I think what
And
we should
maybe
do. Go
let's
on,
stress
Pierre.
something again. Like just to stress something again, I'm pretty sure that Arthur and Erwan mentioned them quite heavily last time. But prototype and MVP does not stand for like half-ass game as well. Obviously, we have to test something that is perfect, but in a very tiny parameters. It's not about like doing things in half. It's like we will offer something that is 5 to 10 minute gameplay, but those 5 10 minutes gameplay they have to be perfect. See it as a slice of a cake. The cake is done or will be done at some point, but you want a slice that's something that is good already to eat. A slice of something, getting the recipe, and then the coating and the sprinkles and the cherry on the top. Then you will do it after that.
Yeah, I like it. So make your little prototype delicious, right? Make it the best
Yeah.
version of what you're trying to achieve. Make it the best version of itself, and everything else can be done later on. So I think that's a really nice, and I make a really good solid cake, and then we can add all the fancy bits and the stuff on the top afterwards. We're going to jump over and have a look at the marketing video real quick. It's the App Store screenshot videos or the App Store previews. I'm going to open it up again because this is what Pierre was really concentrating on that last part, is where when we're actually playing the game, we're playing with coins. But look at what is working well for Rollick here. We're actually looking at a bonus level, which is hidden behind a rewarded video in the game, and we'll get to that. It kicks in about level 5 in the game, so we should be able to test it live. We're going to have to watch a couple of adverts today, but you can see here the end of level is really juicy, really satisfying. But the actual game is more akin to these coins here. This is what you typically play, and now I'm going to go out on a limb and think that probably the first version of this game probably didn't have any ramps in the track either. So they've added all these extra things on here, and we're just approaching the meta level that they've added in relatively recently. So this is the cherry on the cake that they've added when they know that their core loop is super juicy and really clean and working really well for them. So I think without further delay, we should just fire this thing up. I'm just going to turn off our AirPlay. I'll go onto AirPlay mode and see if we can run this without the adverts. Let us know in the chat. I know some of you said you haven't played it. If you played this game before, let us know in the chat. And feel free to ask any questions that you want. Feel free to comment what we're doing. But Pierre, for what we normally do here is that we just go in straight away and just really say what we see here and talk about the onboarding and the first impressions that we get. I think for me this is pretty decent in terms of going straight into the game. Hopefully Pierre's still with it. It looks like remarkably frozen there, so hopefully his internet connection will go out. But when we're loading up the game here, we're definitely just straight into the game with no buttons whatsoever. There's nothing distracting us from it. It's a super high contrast game. The onboarding as such is just hold and move. That's probably could be better positioned because we're on an iPad, but I bet on iPhone the hold and move is not sort of covering those choice gates up there. So really good start. There he is. There he's gone again. But we'll just carry on here. Let's hopefully he'll be able to come straight back in for us. There we go. the wonders of a live stream and the internet, right? So, um,
Yeah, sorry.
no, it's okay, not a problem. We're glad that you're back. You were looking very, very static then, and I figured it'd have frozen.
You
So,
also look static as well.
oh yeah, we just go like that and just freak everybody out for a little while. So yeah, we're just saying the onboarding here is really good. There's nothing, no buttons distracting the player. They're straight into the game, and overall, we're just literally been dumped into the game with an easy tutorial sort of onboarding thing with the left and right to hold and move, and we're straight in, and there's nothing distracting us. Um, Anything that you would like to see here? I mentioned about the contrast that looks really strong straight away. We can really see the gold coin against the track there. Um, I think I understand the ticket, but just make a sense. Didn't got anything with the tickets. Right, I'll come back to that syntax. Is anyone else just bored of runner games? Well, I think there is. We've certainly seen a lot of runner games, and I think they're evolving to the point where to have a successful runner now, you've got to do something pretty different, and it is. It is open to some innovation right now. I think we're seeing more and more meta being added, which is what they've done on this one, but the appetite for runners in the App Store is still there. So, whilst we tend to see more than the typical user because we're all in the store all the time, a good runner can still do really well for you. Right, I'm just going to start playing. So, literally, hold to move left and right, and we're going to go through these choice gates. And there we go. So, super smooth controls, as Pierre mentioned before. The coins are actually really realistic. Ooh, and some nice sounds there. All right. So, very basic level. You notice on the choice gate, so there was no red gates there, I don't think. They were mostly blue. So, it's like you can't really lose, but it really eases you into what you have to do in the game, and no death scenario. Um, do you think, Pierre? Do you think that that's a good way to start a game where the
Yeah,
level's really short, and it just gets you into understand how to control it and stuff?
yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. As you are saying, contrast. We see everything. One control. Obviously, it's a runner, so it's easier to have only one control. One control. Uh, you don't get to lose. You can win a bit better if you are a bit smarter, but basically just about like, okay, this is gonna be about it. And as you can see, you get fairly soon a big stack of pennies, which is all about this collection mood that you might enter if you want to play this type of game. So it's a spot on again.
Yeah,
And the
perfectly
game
put
of
on.
the coins falling on the floor, it's like and
Yes.
just to jump back on I think something is quite true. Sartak Madan saying is anyone else just bored of runner games? We would tend to think, yeah, it's becoming harder and harder to create a good runner game. As Kevin was mentioning, we are trying to publishers are trying to bring a bit of value by creating a hybrid end of levels. So we've seen Arcade Idol, but we've seen as well FPS approach. We've seen as well more history-based type of simulation type of end of levels. So obviously the runner is going to change. The runner genre is going to change quite a lot. But what we think here at Homa is like, as long as you can find something that is so relatable as and as easy as like coins running on the floor, you will always get a market for this, because this is the type of game where basically people just are happy to play with in a kind of, they want to relax, and they are happy to do something that is easy. So if you can find something that is easy, that you can see everything every day in your life, and everybody sees every day in their life, then you have room to create a runner. If it's creating a runner for like some half-baked story, then you shouldn't try, because it's too cramped. But for real good ideas, there will always be a room for runners.
Yeah, and there's a really good reason why runners, we're border runners, because a lot of them are successful because a lot of people like them. I mean, a good runner is a good little hyper casual game. I mean, it's not my favorite genre, I think, but a good runner is really quite satisfying. And this one in particular, I would play because it's really, like Pierre says, it's really relatable. You understand. There's not too busy. There's not You're not trying to pack it with different features to cover over the fact that it's a bit rubbish. It's just simple and really fun to play. Now, we've got the end of level screen here, which is really kind of basic. We've obviously got uh, the rewarded video here where we can multiply our things. So they've gamified the rewarded video here to X amount our coins up, or we can just take the $9 and that, and it looks like we've got a leaderboard there as well that we can work towards getting up, which is kind of neat. Now, what's really cool here is that now we've got 1,000 buttons popped up on our screen that was absolutely irrelevant to us when we first loaded up the game, but now it's introducing a ton of additional level ups and stuff. It is a little bit bouncy for my liking. I think they could have chilled out on that pulsing of those buttons, but it really does draw your attention to. We can spend our money by leveling up these coins here by either start off with some more coins to start off the game, or some offline income, which is almost like the idle mechanic that you can earn money while you're not playing the game. So I'm just gonna press the start level coins, and now we've doubled that up. So now we start with 2 coins, and they've also introduced a skin shot, which I guess at the moment we might as well just click on that and see what happens. So cool, sweet, and epic. Okay, so very simple shot, and the skins. There's not much in here right now. Oh, okay, so the epic ones are rewarded videos only by the looks of things. So that's kind of neat. We've got a ton of donuts and some fruit and some poker chips and a candy. So that's kind of cool. We can all get them from 3 rewarded videos. You can upgrade your coins there. So yeah, nothing too mega in the shop. Um, yeah. Okay.
Again, simplicity.
Yeah. Again. Yeah. You're right. Exactly.
It's simplicity, but I would say it's the double-edged sword of a simple idea. It's always more difficult to create deepness of content around this type of thing. So
Yeah,
this is
you're
why
right. It's that balance in there. It's that's why some win and some don't. They just get that right. So the end of level gamification there, very nice. Pretty powerful in terms of the sound effects and the confetti and the sparks in the streaming. So it's a little bit OP, but it works quite nice. And again, we can take our money, and we're ever increasing up that leaderboard, which is kind of nice. So we're just going to run through this relatively quickly now. Keep playing. We're on level 3. I really like the environment here. The buildings are really, they're actually quite detailed, but because of the palette they've used, they don't get in the way and detract from the gameplay itself, which is really nice, but they look really good. I'm just going to go to that one and then go through some of these. So, we just picked up a key, which is nice.
what's interesting about those doors is as you move along, as you go up each level, choices can become a bit difficult, and it's good because it's a bit of frustration that you will introduce to your player, and that will give him give the player the motivation to maybe play again to make better.
Got it,
Obviously,
yeah.
it's something that you will break your head on, but you just have to calculate a bit. Is it better to have like I don't know, 115 pennies or $1.20? You know,
Yeah,
just
exactly. And
easy thing.
I noticed that immediately, and I'm going to be rubbish at this because I will always choose the wrong one without a doubt because I'm an idiot. But the point is, you're right. It gets you thinking a bit. But what I like about it, the speed of the game, it gives you plenty of time to sort of process it. Even though it gives you that kind of not like a pinch of anxiety because you know it's coming out and you got to make that decision. It does give you kind of plenty of warning in enough time for you to pretend that you know you made the right decision at least. Now, what's nice here is we've got away from the flat basic level, and we've immediately introduced a curve into the road. And if we go back to what Arthur was saying on Friday, just keep adding these new elements in each round. Can be subtle, but now this looks very different, and we've obviously changed from the to a woodland type environment. Just changed it up to make it look different and feel different. So every time I'm playing, something new is happening, and it's really powerful to do. So the mixing up the levels in these games because it just makes it so more interesting. Um, and we've got some coins we're picking up as we go. And that one there was kind of cool. So that was level 4. And that, you just saw it briefly there where Pierre said they don't just shovel the coins up to that end of this high score table here. They actually, the coins curve around and they fill in, and it's that extra level of polish and detail that can also make the difference here. So we've
Nice
now
ballet.
unlocked. Sorry, Pierre, go on.
It's a nice ballet of
Yeah, that's
coins.
right. Yeah, exactly. Agreed.
And it can seem maybe over the top, but it makes a difference basically, especially when you start hitting those players that are not hardcore players for hyper casual. When you're trying to get players that are not that accustomed to playing this type of games, these tiny differences when you scale your game make a huge difference.
Yeah, that's right. It's all in the production value and the polish of it all, and I really appreciate those little touches. They do make a good game into a great game, basically. So we've now got a new skin unlocked. We have the 3 donuts, which is nice that they're bouncing up and down again. It's that level of polish. They could have just stuck the donut on there as a picture, but they've taken the time to move it and make it more appealing. We only can upgrade it by rewarded video. I always personally love to see these given away, the first one free, just to get you in the mode, and even take you to the shop or whatever to get you in that mode of buying. So we're going to lose it because we don't want to. Are they taking you to the shop? Perfect. Yeah, exactly what you need to be doing. So even though I said no, it actually took us inside the shop, which reinforces that we're building and building towards our money up to get more skins, which I really like. So I think that's a really good one there. Even though we didn't get the upgrade for the rewarded video, it's now taken us inside the shop and making this a thing rather than ignoring it and just having the shop as an afterthought. So I really like that. Okay. So, I'm just going to go into the chat real quick. I noticed that many hyper casual have slot machine mechanisms. Hmm. I think.
Yeah, it's right. It's the leaderboard approach,
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the times we see the end of level gamification for the rewarded video is that gambling type thing, more of slot machine mechanisms. Um, I actually haven't noticed that many, if I'm honest, syntax error there. But we always see the end of level, the gambling aspect at the end for the rewarded video, which I think is pretty fun. Um, we have got some upgrades to do here. Level 2. I suppose we're going to press that, but let's carry on. So level 5 now. We're on still on the woodland level, and I like the fact the elevation of the track here is going up and down still. The controls are really nice, and again, I think Pierre mentioned when in his presentation these levels are super short, but that's kind of nice too. So another high score. I am crushing it. I know. And it's really good seeing these numbers on this, like the gambling part of this rewarded video here. It really is that time 5 is pretty significant. So I can see people pressing that because that's probably worth doing that. All right. So what I'm going to do now, you get the gist of this game. I'm just going to put it onto our Wi-Fi so we can get some adverts coming up and we can have a look at how aggressive they are on the monetization. It's always worth looking at it, and we want to see if we can activate that bonus level, um, and see how much how they've weaved that in and see if we can play it. Oh god, that really hurts my brain, that one. What is up, Maxine? Great to see you. I love the coin money game, but in my humble opinion, Investment Run is the best game out there on the market in regards to coin money runners. Okay,
That is
so
debatable. That is debatable.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think there's a lot of pros and cons to all of them. Investment Run, I think, is a slightly biased opinion, if I'm not mistaken. But I
It's
think this
biased.
one, it could give it a run for its money. I thank you.
Ooh,
All right. Yes, I know. I know. All right. So let's go level 3. We'll do the starting coin. So it's really nice that we're building up our. When we're leveling up, we're actually seeing it influence the change in the game. Rather than a green skin to a blue skin. I really like the fact that we're adding coins to our. Oops. I don't even know what you call it. Our sort of crowd, if you like, or collection of coins here. We just picked up another key, so in theory, I'm guessing. Oh my goodness! I'm guessing we will get a chess room of some
the
kind
minus one
soon.
is not. The multiply by one is not super strong, huh?
No, no, I am a potato though, and I am really quite terrible at this. Right, so we're just about to
Oops.
get an advert for Text or Die, which is
Very
kudos
good
to them.
game as well. Very good
Yeah,
game.
yeah, this one has done astonishingly well. Top 100 game for probably the last 12 months now. Can't remember when we first played this game, but very good. All right, so we got the double pops and all of that, but um, monetization triggered the interstitial after the end of the level, which is the natural break in the game, which we'd expect. And now we have this meta element that this is the first time we've seen this. So we've got to level 6, and now we've unlocked this. It's very strange graphically. This, I think. I mean, what do you think, Pierre? This almost looks like a haunted Halloween
Yeah,
thing.
it's a bit weird. It's a weird move, but I think they really had to add something just to build up display time. Probably because they hit their like hardcore reservoir, and they had to offer something else to other type of player. But yeah, it's a weird. I would say it's a weird level design, and it's
Yeah.
super shallow. Huh? It's a very shallow arcade idol. But I mean, it's there. Probably they will. They will deepen it in the months to come. Huh?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I think it's like we're obviously not going to get a full-on like arcade idol game here, but I can definitely see, I can definitely see them expanding on this if it proves to be popular. So it looks like we've just made a lemonade stand that I think is generating us money there. Can we just
Yeah,
take?
it's
Oh,
gonna
okay,
give you
got
a
it.
bit
All
of
right,
money. So,
I see. So now we've got 16,000. Let's whack it on this truck here. Yeah, like I said, graphically, I find it very odd. But I'm
yeah,
thinking
it's not
maybe
as polished basically as the Renapart.
no, it's not, is it?
So
Ooh, okay. Love this part of the game, says Jilly. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. This game has more System 2 meta features than the core System 1 gameplay. Okay, so quoting the made up voodoo sort of System 1, System 2 thing. Yeah, I think so. I think it started out as that uh, runner and they've evolved it over time. I think that's what we're seeing here. I think this is really neat that where we're just about to upgrade this food truck, it waxes a rewarded video to complete it, so we're buying time here. I think that's really smart. So nice technique on the monetization there. And yeah, I was just about to say, I think these graphics look really wonky because they're meant to be grayed out. I think that's what the idea is. They're going to pop into color once we complete them. All right, so that will take us 100 years to finish up that, but the controls are pretty nice on this. Looks like there's tons of things to unlock. I'm just going to wander up the top here and see if we can peek into the future a little bit. So it looks pretty cool, but yeah, I think it's all greyed out. But as Pierre said, it's definitely not as polished as the core game that we've been playing. So let's go done.
I think
Pretty
people won't
nice.
keep playing for this part, frankly.
Yeah.
But it's good that it's there. They're probably testing. It wasn't there 3 months ago, I think.
You want to
So
know what you will look like when you
Right, so
play?
it's
it's you reckon about
First,
3 odd months
open
ago
the
they put
snake.
this in then.
Take
yeah.
a
But three
picture
months
of
ago they were like
yourself.
at 21 million
Then,
downloads. So
enjoy.
Right, and adding that matter, you're saying that's when they
What
said
you
they
look like
doubled
in
their
different age
downloads, right?
groups.
yeah, they doubled their download count. So maybe they had to just offer something different for all the other players, because when you're starting to hit those limits, obviously people are feeding from something else, from
Yeah, and
different
of
things.
course, the other thing to mention there is like if you've got 20 million downloads, you've got if assuming the a good percentage of those players are not removed it from their home screen, these constant updates will remind the players to keep coming back. And if they have another go at it and they see all this new content added, they're way more likely to stick around to see what's if the game doesn't feel abandoned, you've got a way better chance of getting that engagement up, which in turn really sort of helps the natural algorithm of the App Store. Okay, so we're really getting quite a lot of coins here. It's really interesting the way this thing shrinks down. I don't really understand this party in school thing, if I'm honest.
I think it's like the life choice, and their results on your
Yeah,
money.
it came a little bit too quick onto me. If I wasn't really paying attention and I didn't quite understand that. So that's a little bit too much for me. What is up, Pineda? Good to see you here. Where have you been? Okay, so let's just do a few more rounds. But oh my goodness,
We've
now
been
we've got the
waiting for you.
adverts on.
Meta.
Um, this is gonna get absolutely hammered here. Koali, I've seen that before.
I hope you're gonna see the bonus level.
Well, that's the plan. I've got a feeling it might. Well, it. I would imagine we might see it on level 10 because they normally go in cycles of 5. So 25% taxes that we unavoidable. There's the key. So now we've got 3 keys, which is cool. So I'm assuming.
I think it's after the free key. So you're gonna have to unlock safes with the free keys, and then after, I think you can play with the bonus level.
Okay, great. So normally I'd expect to see a chess room here, like you said. We can unlock the safes. So we're in the meta here. Let's try and fill up this thingamabob. Don't know how much we got. It seems to be going really slow. Yeah, so now the hot dog van is literally burst into well, I say burst into colour loosely. It's now coloured, but it's very, very muted and pastel. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that, but that's okay. It's pretty cool.
And it's pretty polluting. Nice. Thanks for the environment.
Yeah,
That's a weird move.
exactly. But we'll ignore that for now. So this one's 85,000. So that's quite a lot to level up on. So here's our chess room, which is what we were just saying, and was Pierre saying about the safe. So the extra pickups during the levels we were collecting over the 6 or 7 or 8 levels we did. Each one had a random key. Now we've got this. Elite members, you'll be able to see, or the VIPs now in Homa, you'll be able to see a ton of examples of this inside Hyper Elite. But normally on the chat, we ask the chat, Pierre, to give us 3 random numbers up to 9. So anybody here on the Academy who's used to this, please put the numbers in the chat now and we will choose these boxes. Ian is in there with a 375. So I am going to choose. Well done, Ian. Good to see you here. 3. Oh my God, my brain hurts. 7. And 5. Let's see if we get no donut for us. So the best prize here would have been the donut, but sadly we only got coins in this one. I really like, again, much like with when we unlock that first sort of character or skin, I'd like them to give it to us for nothing, just front loaders with some, make us feel good about the game. And the same for me on this. Give us the donut, make us win the donut, and then we feel like we won something. Now I want to play it again because I'm winning. It's like the gambler who keeps winning on the machine or the card table. They want more. So consider giving the first one away for free. Don't hide everything behind these rewarded videos. All right, let's have a few more goes. Ian beat you there, Jilly, on the
Are we
unlock
gonna
there.
get to bonus level now?
Well, let's see. Obviously, we've got the adverts back on, so unfortunately, we're going to get bombarded with them. Hey, there we go. Success. Perfect. So, this is the bonus level that Rollick is advertising the game at. If you remember, we saw this on their first app preview video on the App Store, and they're also using this heavily in their marketing. So, we're going to watch a
All
video.
creatives are about the wood. Huh?
Yeah.
There is no. I didn't see any single creative about the coins. So
Oh, right. Okay. So you're saying
It's
literally
crazy.
every single one.
Yeah, it's crazy, but you will see the level is so nice.
Okay. So we got a 30-second non-skippable, which we're just going to watch through now. And we're going to play this bonus level that is pretty awesome. What is up, Super Idol 213? New to live stream. Good to see you here. Really good to see you here. So here we go. So we are now activating the bonus level here. We've got the tree level. And you can see instead of our coins, we have the roll of money or the wad of money. And we're going to play through this. But obviously this was locked behind the rewarded video. So we've got wads of money on the track in front of us. We've also got some coins that we're going to pick up. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that is super nice. Why did I miss the gate?
You're gonna lose.
Oh my goodness, I avoided the gate. Hold on, let's get an extra $10 and
That's a good
try.
learning. They give you a last chance.
I'm gonna watch another video. I was so annoyed. I was so excited that it moved around so nice. I didn't realise that the roll needed to. So essentially, that
Yeah,
roll of
it's
money needs to
shrinking.
be can't run out or you die, right?
Yeah, it's shrinking. So this is why it's so cool.
Yeah, I knew that obviously. So this supersonic advert that I'm trying to skip out of now is doing remarkably well in the App Store right now.
Tollman Run is good as well.
Yeah, it's
Again,
a really
crazy
well.
simple.
Yeah, exactly. So we were talking about, we're all fed up of runners. Look at this from Supersonic. It's a really well built game. We played this back on Academy Live a few weeks ago when it first started peaking up the charts, but really well built game. And that was an early version we played, I believe. Can I just skip this, please?
Again,
What
the
is up,
strength of a
Moki?
crazy simple idea.
Yeah,
Strength.
exactly. Very along the same vibe as the Goo Runner or whatever it was. I always forget the
Yeah.
name. Right, this time I am going to concentrate and I'm going to try and
We're
pick up
counting
some
on you.
money and not avoid the blue gates like I did before. So let's try this again. So it is really juicy and nice to control.
The
You can see,
snake-like feeling is crazy. I mean,
yeah, it's very
it's
juicy.
beautiful.
Oh, look how big that is. Nice. You kind of don't want it. It's really mean when you go through those gates because the feeling
Wow.
of getting bigger like this is so nice. Oh my goodness. Oh, please don't kill me.
Whoops.
Okay. But that's pretty good. So I reckon I got quite a lot there. Oh, nice. Okay.
It's
Very
perfect. Huh?
smart. Very good indeed. So yeah, worth doing it. But as Pierre said, he's only seen adverts that have that wad rather than the coin. So it's just that thing to think about that, what can we do that doesn't stray too far from the core, but makes it completely OP that you can use in your marketing. And although it's slightly sneaky deaky because you start off with the coins, because it's not completely false because you can do it. I think it's legit for me. If you see these adverts where there's completely fake and it's not in the game, I don't like that at all. But
Yeah, because
overall,
there is a link here. There is an intellectual link between the coins and the what. It's okay.
yeah, that's right. So it seems feasible and I don't feel cheated at all. Okay, we're on level 9. We're going to get to level 10, Pierre. We've just played through the first 10 levels. But I think you can see how polished and nice this game is. I really like the shrinking of the coins when you
Crazy,
head
huh?
over to the side. Very nice.
It's so clean. And
Yeah.
if you play it, guys, you'll see that the physics of the rolling and the shade that moves around, it's super realistic. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is. And that's like testament of really polishing that core, making it control nice and getting everything look so it's not janky. Really smart. So last level and then we're going to start to wrap things up today. Um, I really like that scene transition as well. It's only a small touch, but that grey thing that comes in is very nice. Some sort of merging here. Let's merge. Yeah, we'd rather not. Very ugly woman there. Just saying. Okay. So, oh my goodness. Can we just. Right, so last go. Let's see how we do. Oh.
Oh,
That was
come
a
on.
good start. I know. But yeah, think how short these levels are. Um, there's another one of our keys there. So interest or interest is the same. Don't quite get that one. Oh wow. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. So yeah, I'm really good at this. And now we're back to here, and we can do one more inside the arcade idols, that type thing, I'd imagine. So yeah, a really accomplished, mature runner here. I don't think we're gonna end up with anything else there. So overall, I kind of enjoyed that, Pierre. I think that's a really good game to play through, and one that, to go back on what everyone was saying is like, oh, run, it's all sick of runners and da 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 da. If you can get that hook and that angle of something super relatable, the runners can do especially well, and you can add over time to add that longevity to the games. And when you see trends come in, like, you can add that additional meta to them. What would be your overarching tips if there's someone is looking to do some sort of runner game? I know this is a really loaded question, but and we've covered a lot of it before, but what do you think would be, have you got any ideas that no one's made that you think someone should make? What's it, you want to give away a free idea if you got one or anything like that? Some bonus stuff here at the end.
Well, we've seen quite a trend in the runner evolution game. It started with phone evolution, I guess. And what is so nice about those games, like again, those are things that are highly relatable for the markets that are of interest to us. Um, but the downside of those games is like it's very heavy in terms of production and content that you have to create, and it's not the type of runner that people would play with disconnecting their brain and just playing away. This is the problem with runners. The market, as we know, is saturated in runners, but I think now there are like maybe two types of runners, like the one with a crazy idea that you play disconnecting your brain. I think Money Rush is the type of game you can have. Maybe you've been playing this game for 6 months, but I'm pretty sure you could always thinking, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm waiting for my cab, my bus, or whatever. Let me play Money Rush. It's easy. I know I'm not gonna break my head. The problem with content extensive runners such as Phone Evolution is they are very nice to play, but I'm pretty sure once you've done all of the content, you won't play it again because you've seen it all. So they are working quite well right now, but they are super expensive in terms of content. So it's the downside. Otherwise, I frankly, unless you're showing me something so crazy, I wouldn't recommend doing runners, frankly.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, sorry, I was looking away there. I was just trying to see, and whilst it's not iPhone US, I was just looking at Money Rush's number 13 overall iPad here in the UK. So these games, they are solid, but like I think Pierre really hit on the nail on the head. Really, so you've really got to think of a really strong hook, and you've really got to do something kind of amazingly different right now to enter the market with so many runners. Homer's having a lot of success right now with our shoe game, which is essentially a runner. Um, but
But again, it's content extensive.
yeah,
So this game is doing crazy, but we will always be chasing the tail. Like, what type of runner, what type of content do we have to bring so people keep playing?
yeah,
This
that's
is the
right.
truth with those games. Like, people might get bored with a money game like this. People will never get bored.
Yeah, no, I agree, because you're always adding that new content in. We need more shoes, we need more, because you're just eating up the content. Um, but I'm sure
It's
that will
based on
evolve.
collection on top of that. It's
Yeah,
because it's based on collection, then you don't want your collection to stop. So it's another thing that you can explore, but it's risky.
yeah,
But what is
agreed.
not hyper casual?
Agreed. Well, Pierre, I know we had our problems on the stream today, but I wanted to say thanks for coming on and doing your
Thanks a
presentation.
lot for having me.
Really enjoyed that, and I think you chose a really great game today. And I really like the fact that you did the breakdown for us beforehand, before playing it. I think it makes a huge difference to put, someone in your position here at Homa to, share the knowledge with everyone. It's really great insights as your role there, where you're doing this day in day out, and you're
Mm,
seeing all the charts all the time with all the games, with all the prototypes, with all the creators. It's just a really great perspective to get and really valuable for everybody. So,
well,
um, with all that said and done, I think that's going to go and wrap it up for today.
yeah,
We will have Pierre's slides available at some
yeah.
point next week. The
And just a final word, maybe
Sure.
thanks for having me. And I would like to point out again that it was my pleasure to share this knowledge about this game. And I went the extra mile and offering like a breakdown of the game, because this is what we do here at Homa. We really, you know, try to have a deep technical and human relationship with the studios. We are not about having like 50 studios each publishing manager. We really foster like intense relationship, and this is what we do day in day out, as we are saying. So it was my pleasure to share that with you today.
Yeah, perfect. So I think one of the things that we always mention is the fact that the publishing managers here at Homer only work with a maximum of 10 studios, so you do build those deep relationships, and you can see the knowledge over the last three streams alone of the quality of the world class people we have here at Homer. So just a quick one from me. Thank you so much, Pierre. Say thank you in the chat if you're still going. You've got 30 seconds to show your appreciation. That will be the only stream for this week, but join us next week where we have three streams for you because we've had to break for the Queen's Jubilee here in the UK. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the same time, and we will see you then where we'll be playing through more games and getting the knowledge from the publishing managers. So with all that said and done, thank you everybody, and we
Take
will
care,
see
boss.
you next week. See ya.
Bye bye. Take care.